Hello, today we're going to go over how to set up marketing on Hemlane and start getting you high qualified tenant leads. First off, sign into Hemlane and click on marketing. You'll see all of your properties here. If you see a thumbnail displayed, that means that advertising is activated, and you'll see how many days it's been listed for here. Down below, if the Start Advertising button is white, it means that the unit is occupied and you likely do not need to advertise it. If it's blue, it means that it's vacant and you might want to consider advertising it. You can also look at the public listing. Click View Listing on any of the properties to see the listing that we will link back to from the listing partner websites that potential tenants will look at. You can also copy and paste this and email it to people or text it to people. It's quite versatile. And so this will act as sort of an information brochure about the property with all of your listing information that we're going to fill out, as well as enable interested tenants to ask questions or start the application process. So to clarify, this is the page you want to send to people if you want them to apply. You also have a View All Listings, which shows all the properties in your portfolio. Okay, it'll show if they're active or leased. There's a map here which shows where they're all located. It can be searched. And so you can email this whole page as well, or text it to any interested tenants so they can see the availability of your whole portfolio. You can also share it, and you can embed this in your website, and there is an article in our support center on how to do that. Okay, continuing on, let's go through the process of setting up a listing. So we would just click the property. Okay, so let's click on one that's vacant. We would go through and basically fill out all these terms. Now these terms we ask are the exact terms that our listing syndication partner websites ask. So for like apartments.com and Zumper, etc., they're all asking these questions. This is why we need to ask this, and this is why you have to fill it out, because it is mandatory on those listing sites. So you'll just put in the availability date, the duration. 12 months is very typical. You'll put in the monthly rent, the security deposit, and then a description. Now this description is also where you can put any miscellaneous information that you cannot enter in the settings here. Another thing you can put here is if you have a video walkthrough that you've uploaded to YouTube or another video hosting site, you can put the link here. This is a great place for that. And generally, tenants know to look at the description for additional information like video walkthroughs and so forth. So continuing on, you'll put your minimum credit and minimum income. 650 is a good recommendation, but you can change that. Keep in mind that if they do not meet that minimum requirement, they are still able to apply. We just give them a warning, but they can still apply. And then you can put additional requirements here. This could be anything like, pets have a maximum weight of 10 pounds, which are allowed in the property. So continuing on, this is where you'll set up your settings for the property. So you could do, if it's an apartment or, it's a house, make sure you select the right ones there. Again, we're asking you the exact questions our listing partners are asking. The property type, the bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, year built. You could get this type of information from maybe your purchase documents, or you could even search on Zillow, it might be there. I recommend doing this all very thoroughly because, this is going to be in Hemlane permanently. So, when you go to list the property again in 2 years or 3 years, most of this will stay the same. You might just have to update the description, the rental price, and pictures, but this type of stuff pretty much doesn't change. So I would basically try to be as thorough and accurate here as possible. Okay, so the next is your settings for utilities. So you're going to say if tenants pay heat or they pay gas, or if you do. So just, again, be as detailed as possible. This should match your contract, right? So if your contract says heat's included, you should put that here. Further notes about pets, what type of pets are allowed and not allowed. Notes about appliances, again, which appliances are available. amenities, okay, so things like a common area or a pool or a balcony, etc. And then any accessibility settings, you could also put that here, okay, so except section 8, if there's a lever style door handles, etc. All right, moving on. So this is where you can upload photos. So you can have as many photos as you like here, and actually let's go to a live property here. So you can do as many photos as you wish here, okay? So you can have unlimited photos. Now, our listing partners will typically have a limit to how many photos they'll display, like for example, 18. So what'll happen there is Hemlane will list the first 18 photos you've put here, and any additional photos will only be on that public listing page that I reviewed with you. So upload your photos. Again, you want to do really nice high quality photos. Consider getting professional photos, or going there once the place is all cleaned. A great time to do photos is after during a turnover, after you've got it cleaned and it's ready to do showings. Go over there with your iPhone. They don't need to be perfect, or smartphone, but just try to get some nice photos you can permanently have. Another great place to get photos is just Google your address. There might already be photos online on Zillow or another syndication service or online service, maybe from the past owner or from another thing you did with your house, and you could just basically download those photos and upload them here into Hemlane. So once you upload those photos, you are able to move them. Okay, so just click and then drag to the new spot, and you'll see that it changes location. Okay, now this is your banner headline image, which means it's the main photo that will be displayed on our syndication partners and of course on our public listing page here. Okay, so just be conscious to pick the best picture that you think best represents your property here. And then you do have the option to add captions, which will be displayed on our syndication partner sites as well as the Hemlane public site. So yeah, go through there and customize that as much as possible. Now to add a photo, you can either drag or just basically click here and upload from your desktop. All right, so that's how you do that. So we'll go to next. So after you've gone through each of these sections and filled them out, you're going to be able to turn on your advertising. So there'll be blue check marks. If they're incomplete, it'll be a little orange icon, so you'll need to go back and finish those. Also, make sure you check out our other videos on settings and showings to get those sections complete. So we'll go to advertising, and when we're ready, take one last look it over, turn on advertising, and then we'll start to syndicate to our listing partners. It could take up to 48 hours. Okay, so some are quicker, some may take longer. And then when it's live, you'll be able to make updates here. So you could just go to terms, for example, and update your rent. Maybe you want to decrease it to try to get more leads. Maybe you want to update your description. So any changes you make after you've turned on advertising will automatically update on those listing services. Okay, those updates might take up to 48 hours again, but they will appear. Generally, the more widely used websites like Zillow and Zumper are going to take longer, and the less used ones are going to take longer. Okay. Now also the listing service icons will be lit up here, so you'll be able to click and it'll either take you to the home page or your actual listing page. Okay, so some of these listing services provide a direct link to your listing, some do not. So you can click through to get to the website, get to the listing service website, and then you'll either be able to search your address or it'll just appear. Okay, thank you, and best of luck getting lots of leads.